Hey, y'all. We're going to go over the grid. This is something that we utilize on both the front end and the back end of our conversation. Now, before we jump into the grid, I think it's important to discuss some of the outcomes or the reason that you're even having to utilize the grid, right? So there's really only three items that are going to come up through the course of your conversation. The first one is going to be a complaint, right? So complaints are not objections. We don't have to overcome them. It's just like if somebody walks outside and says, "Man, it's raining." You don't always have to come with a solution to overcome that complaint, right? The second one is, and mind you, with any complaint, we just move past it. We don't even really address it. We'll acknowledge it and then we move forward. The second one is going to be a stall. A stall means that that person does not have enough information to confidently make a decision. So you may hear them say, "I have to think about it, got to talk to the spouse, can you email it to me?" Something in that regard means that they're pushing the decision off to a later date, just not right now, which means there is an objection that you have to uncover. And the nice thing about it is our grid allows you to decipher through the information to understand what is it that is keeping them from making a decision today, right? So it allows us to overcome the objection. So the first thing we're always going to do is we're going to do create what's called a cushion, or an acknowledgement is really what we're doing. And we're doing it in a positive manner. The first thing we're going to do, if somebody gives us a stall or an objection, completely understand. That is something that I do hear often. I get that a lot. A lot of people do feel that way, right? The second part to this is we're going to clarify with questions to better understand what is keeping us from moving forward. So clarifying here can sound something like, what are some of the details you're thinking about? Tell me a little bit more about fill in the blank. Help me understand. Is there anything else? In addition to that, you can ask other questions. So let's just say hypothetically, this person is saying, "I have to think about it," right? Absolutely. Completely understand where you're coming from with that. It makes sense to me. And I can go ahead and prepare an email so that you have something concrete to hold and to actually look at. Now, when I email this information over to you, where are your eyes going to gravitate towards? And they're going to say, more than likely, the price. Absolutely. Now, we've discussed the price. What are your thoughts on the price? Now they're going to tell you what their objection is. You're about 20 or $30 more than what I'm currently paying. I just kind of want to compare what I've got. Completely understand. It sounds to me like making sure you get everything that you want, keeping a budget in mind, is extremely important. So let's do this. And this is where we go through our reply stage. We summarize what it is that they shared with us. We provide them with a solution moving forward. And this leads us to our final quadrant here, which is a trial close. And we can do that by stating one of these items that are listed here. How does that sound for you? What are your thoughts on that? Does that feel like it would be a good solution for you? So, in whole, what we're doing with our grid is deciphering through the information that they're sharing with us to determine what is a positive solution to move this forward for that client. At the end of the day, the grid allows us to understand what is the true objection that we are facing. We move past the complaints, we uncover the stalls to get to the root objection. And then if they actually tell us, "I don't get paid until Friday," you would still walk through your steps, offering a solution and asking them that final trial closing question: does that work for you? We're going to practice this over and over again to make sure, not just on the back end, but also on the front end of our conversations, that we're able to do this very systematically and seamlessly. So I'll see you on the other side.